What up, y'all? Justin Gay, Seeds of Xanadu. So as you may already know or are now learning, not all farmers markets are created equal, right? Some might crank while others just don't. I was gonna say tank, huh? Selling microgreens in our area has been awesome. A lot of markets hit us up to be in their market, which is actually pretty cool. Out of all the markets that we do, the 4 that we do right now, and any that we've ever done, I've only applied but for 1, which is pretty crazy. I don't know how it is for anybody else. I've never really asked this question before. We normally will just go check out a market and then we'll just kind of just stick around. Especially that's how it was in the beginning. Now, because we are getting a little bit bigger, I have to be a little bit more selective of the markets that I choose because there's a lot of work to be done here. We still have to prep for the market, drop off for the market, which is cool. And I guess I say all this because most of the markets that we're looking for right now, more than likely will be on the weekday, like a nice Wednesday. That would be dope. We got hit up again to go do another farmers market, and I'm actually considering checking this one out. So these are the 7 things that I look for when scouting a potential farmers market. Farmers markets are pretty much our main bread and butter right now. I have one market that's actually low, and then I have another one that's kind of good, and then I have another one that's really good. So I'm kind of stacked up in the flux of markets, you know what I mean? So I would really like to get the market that's not that great and move it up a little bit more, either one by boosting the sales myself or by finding a new market. It kind of just really depends. All the things I'm getting ready to tell you right now may not and should not be your make or break for you. It really just depends on what it is that you're looking for in a market. For example, if you're new to farmers market or growing veg and you now want to start selling your produce, farmers markets, a slow farmers market is a really cool place to start. I mean, farmers markets just in general a good place to start because of the low barrier to entry. It's really easy to get into them. You just have to show up every week. For the most part, that's all you really have to do, man. Grow what you say you can grow and show up. Well, for me, it was kind of important to actually have a smaller market, and then I gradually kind of just built up to the markets that I have now. They're definitely good to at least kind of get your feet wet and start sharpening your skills. Now this list is kind of more so for those of us that don't necessarily live in the city in which we are acquiring. So we might have to be doing a little bit of traveling. That's another reason right there too, to pick a market where you're going to be making a little bit extra money. You know what I mean? The travel time. How long are you in your car? Is it worth it to be in your car that long to go make $200? If it is, cool, man. Or even those of us that, live very close to the city but don't really have an idea of what's going on in the market. You know what I mean? You just want to kind of just you've gone to the market as a customer, but you've never really gone there as a person that's going to be behind the booth. These are things that I kind of want to know before I say yay or nay to any market. Here we go. Not in order. Number 1. How many farmers are in the market? That's a pretty big one right there, especially during peak season, right? If you're in a market in spring and you're walking around and you're not seeing a lot of farmers, more likely than not, that market's going to need a little bit more time to develop. But then again, if it is in a good area and you know the demographics of that area and you know that your product will do well in that area, then it might be worth it for you to actually maybe even do a little bit of advertising for yourself, as well as just stick it out with that market and see how you can actually help make it grow, especially if you know that it's going to crack. Even if you decide to hold on to that market for whatever reason, you're going to have to remember that it might take you some time to begin to generate the amount of money that you want to generate. Again, kind of up to you here. Number 2, how long has the market that you're acquiring been around? Generally speaking, the longer the market's been around, the better the roots are in that community. And more than likely that means if it's been around for a long time, then it's been accepted by the community and there's enough to keep that market going. And a lot of times too, if you're being asked to join a farmer's market, a lot of times that's one of the pieces of information that the managers will tell you or at least know. At least I hope they know that. If they don't know that, yeah, dude, get out for real. Has the market recently changed day, or has it even changed the location? Same day, but just new location. Dude, you would be mind blown as to how big of a difference this may make a market. A lot of times they are subject to moving. And it's not the market manager's fault, it's just something that has to happen, right? You know, I'm actually in a market now that has just recently moved. Thank God it didn't move too far, which again, it doesn't really matter. I've seen markets literally move just down the street and dude, night like lights out. Yeah, you don't want your market moving around too much. I mean, I've seen vendors move to different spots and dude, for a while it gets shaky for them. I've had to move to different spots. I've been able to get back on my feet relatively quick within that day. But yeah, I've seen where it really can hurt people. Has your market recently moved? It really makes a big difference. I've been in markets that have moved both day and time and dude, have just plummeted because of it. So, you know, you want to be careful of that. If they've made the market a little bit earlier to where your normal customer is, you know, somebody that comes home from work, if it's during the weekday, now they put it more in the middle of the day, dude, I can definitely see how that can make things go way down. Then on the verse, I've been in markets that moved and really hasn't seemed to hurt anything, man. Again, it can make things go way up. It really just depends on where you are. What is your area? Knowing your area is very important when you're starting a farmer's market. Number 4, what are other vendors selling at the market? What are other farmers selling at the market? So while taking that early morning stroll, I often like to take a video camera or my phone and kind of walk around the market and get an idea of what people are selling, how high are they piling it, is there anything niche there, how much are they selling things for, how many food vendors are there. Food vendors, you know, that could be a huge indication of whether or not people are there just for dinner or for breakfast, more so than just for shopping. So you kind of want to be aware of that. If you're selling microgreens and people are hip to microgreens in your area, you probably won't have this problem. Really, again, it really just depends on what you're selling. They crushing it for real. If you find yourself educating a lot of people about microgreens and what they are, well then more than likely you will have this problem. At least that's what I've ran into in the past. This is a new one. There might be people that you know there and you can just ask them directly, Steve, how is this market going, you know what I mean? Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a make or break for you if it's good or bad for them, but it gives you a good indication as to how that market can be if people recognize the value in what it is that you're selling. Then I'll just kind of hang out at the market. I kind of get the vibe of the market. You want to try to stay there for as long as you can. Granted, you know, you're there for an agenda, and if you've already kind of got all the information that you need, you've done your shopping, then, you know, maybe take off for, you know, however long the market's going to be. But make sure you get back there right before the market ends and take a video of what's left in the market. This is going to give you a really good idea of what to sell, of course, right? So if there's somebody there selling something that's cranking and you know that they're the only one doing it and you can grow it in your system, dude, see what's popping. But it also gives you a good idea as to, especially the first walk. The first morning walk really gives you the indication. If people are piling stuff up really high, truth, there is something to the whole pile it high, watch it fly. That's a real thing. But if you notice that there was a pretty big pile and you go back and that pile is dramatically lower, okay, you know that at least these people have a hit. You might have a hit as well, right? So that's kind of a good thing. Number 5, how does your market promote? If it's a newer market, I want to see the people out there promoting a lot. I've been in one farmer's market, dude, they got down. Like they were always promoting. They had their own farm. It's actually a community ran farmers market, so the community really got behind it and they pushed it really well. We unfortunately didn't do well at that market, and I can see their hustle. You know, like I said, they have a farm. They run like their own like farm to table nights. I mean, they do cooking demos, which, you know, more markets are starting to do, but they really promote it. You see them around the neighborhood. That's important. Orange County Homegrown, peace. You know, I have other markets that they don't promote well. you might see like a banner in the store, you know, that's in the corner somewhere, and that's it, you know. So that kind of sucks. Again, I've heard different things about that. I've heard that one, that could mean that the city's not allowing them to promote it well, which doesn't make much sense to me. You want to at least know how many people potentially are being made aware of your market. If you live in the area, how often do you hear about this farmer's market? Number 6. This is a big one for me. What kind of customer does your market attract, right? Huge one. While you're walking around in the market, and then hopefully you're kind of seeing it in the middle, and then of course towards the end, take a look at the customers. Are they holding bags? Do they have bags in their hand? Not necessarily bags that they've bought stuff from. I mean, that's dope too, but even empty bags like canvas bags or plastic bags from the store, right? Are they holding bags? Because generally, if those people are holding bags, that means the market that you're in is somewhat established and that people know that it's there for them to get food, so they're coming prepared. If you walk around the market and you're not seeing people holding bags, you might just be in a looky-loo or grazing market where people just want to be there like it's Costco and just graze on what you have. Again, it doesn't mean that you can't sell well there. It just means that your approach to selling might be different. Like one of our markets right now is in between a lot of hotels. It's in the downtown area. It's by the convention center. So it attracts a lot of clientele that might be from out of town, right? It's not that it doesn't have an established clientele that comes in. It's just that it's almost like a 50-50 thing. You get a lot of people that are just been attracted. They had no idea that the market was even there. They're just walking through. They would have been walking through the adjacent street if there was a farmer's market there. It didn't really matter to them. There was something going on, so they walked down. That's pretty much, that's it. You know what I mean? You get a lot of that in that market. But then again, it really just depends on how you market your produce. So what we do is we just kind of offer our microgreens in a clamshell, but we kind of push it more of the way of it could be a salad. You know, it's just the different ways you can kind of go about getting your produce off of your table. I mean, even when we're doing the live cut, we're cutting up live salads for you, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier and more conducive in the clamshell. It kind of looks like a salad. So it does really well in that market. You kind of want to have an idea of who your customer is. That's really important. I mean, that's just important in any kind of sales, really. Number 7, what is the customer count? I've had only one farmers market that knew that. They want to know the numbers, which to me is brilliant. A lot of people, they don't know that, especially starting off. I feel that a lot of farmers markets should probably have that answer. That lets you know so much about who it is that you're going to sell for. That was awesome information to know, because it really gave me an idea of what were they drawing. Again, it's not something that makes or breaks anything. Knowing these things before you get into that market might save you guys some time, some energy, headache, or it might just blow you up out of the stratosphere. You're selling more of your produce than you ever expected. Who knows, man? You know what I'm saying? But those are the things that I kind of want to know before I get into a market. So I'm more amped to say, okay, I'm going to do this market. And if I do this market, chances are I need to skew it more like this or like that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what this is about. It's not really about saying yes or no to a market. It's more about just knowing your market, man. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to keep up with what it is that I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram and of course at theseedsofxanadu.com. Thinking about making some t-shirts. I know there's only a couple of y'all, but hey man, if y'all want a t-shirt, let me know. It'll really help us out down here. Let me know. I'm Justin Gay. This is Seeds of Xanadu, y'all. Peace.